Right, for this next video, I thought we'd do a scrapbook page. So perfect if you've, been to the seaside, been to a sea life centre, been binge watching Finding Nemo, whatever your reason for wanting a nice sort of seaside-y theme, sea creature theme scrapbook page. Here's one to have a play with. Now, I never claim to be an expert in scrapbooking. There are no doubt far more expert scrapbookers on this group. In fact, I know there are far more expert scrapbookers on this group. But it's good to have a bit of a play. So my inspiration has come from a scrapbook layout by that is pinned onto my scrapbook layout board on my Pinterest board. From ladyannecraig.blogspot.com, and I just liked the sort of the circles and the stitch rectangles and things that were stitch circles and stitch rectangles going on there. I thought that would be a perfect way to highlight all those lovely papers. So I've gone ahead and I've already cut out some bits and pieces. So using a variety of the sizes in the stitched rectangles, these are the longer, thinner ones. So I think it was this second one here I used. Yeah, and I've cut out some longer, thinner papers. Those fishes are swimming this way. We've got some seahorses and some other seaweed. Using a slightly fatter rectangle there, we've got some more fishes, and then I've got a variety of circles here. We've got 3 small stitch circles with those, so 2 with the little jade fishes on and 1 with the seahorses. I've got 2 the next size up with this seaweed on. I've got 2 medium-sized circles. One's got a turtle in and the other is some more of the seaweed, and then I've got a big circle with a turtle. I've cut out from the largest stitch rectangle, I've cut out a couple of pieces of Whisper White card. And when it comes to actually finishing off your scrapbook, you could either have these as a mat and cut your photographs slightly smaller, or you could replace these mats altogether with a photograph, and you could die cut your photograph as well if you wanted to. And then I've got 2 pieces here of mint macaron, and again die cut using that largest rectangle. This one has already been embossed, so we're just going to emboss this one, and this is using the 3D seabed embossing folder that comes with this suite of products. It is a beautiful, stunningly beautiful folder. I really like this embossing folder. So let's just run that through the machine. Out it pops on the other end, and there we go. We've got that beautiful seaweed and all those little corally bits and things that's now been embossed onto that piece of cardstock. So let's have a little look, because we're going to want to do some stamping on here as well. So we're going to sort of have one set of rectangles coming there and another sort of set coming down here somewhere. So we want these to come along here, sort of like that. We'll lay them out so that we can see where we're going to want our stamping to go. We've got this nice big turtle here, and then the fish that I've cut so that they're swimming that way, so that it's a longer one. We're going to tuck that fish underneath there and bring in one of these smaller circles. We might not use all of these bits and pieces, we'll see. This sort of slightly larger, fatter rectangle we'll have coming in here. And we'll have one of these coming in down there. And the other one we're going to have at the top here somewhere. Let's move these circles out of the way so we can use them. So sort of like this so far. Might move these around in a minute, we'll see. Let's have the turtley circle just there, and we'll have a seaweedy circle coming in. We'll have it so it comes over the green but under the white, like that. And we'll have another one with a seaweedy one coming around here. Might actually bring that across a bit. That's it, more like that, I think. We'll have some little fish swimming just here, and then up here we'll have another couple of circles. I'm actually going to bring these ones around here a little bit. As I think we'll then have a bit of stamping down here and some stamping coming up there. We'll see about that circle. I might have that circle coming in, I might not, we'll see. Right, so that's sort of going to be our general layout. Let's see if I can bring this camera up a little bit so you get a bit more of a whole feel. Now the background to this is a piece of just jade, so I've got a just jade piece of 12 by 12 just there. Right, I'm now going to take some of this seaweed and some of this corally stuff. I might have some of the little fish. Might even have a seahorse. We'll see how we go. And I've also got here some of the whales, so we might pop some of those in yet as well. We'll see how we go, how the mood takes us. So I've got here some shaded spruce, some pretty peacock, some Pacific Point. I've got a bit of blackberry bliss. Let's start with some pretty peacock. Love this colour. I'm just going to move those out of the way a bit. Let's have some, just dropped the whale on the floor. Let's have some seaweed coming up there, and let's have some more coming down here. Let's swap out our colours to bring in the little short seaweedy piece. I'm going to bring in some blackberry bliss. And I'll just have some of that coming up in here. think I'm going to stick some of these down so that they are attached in place. So to start with, I'm going to take our embossed mint macaron pieces, and we'll have one about there, and this one about there. I've obviously picked up some Blackberry Bliss on my finger, yes. I'll have this one coming down here. I'm going to take pop the lid on that a minute so I don't get any more on my finger. Let's put some dimensionals on the back of here. So at this stage you might decide that you want this to be your photo layer rather than white card, or you might decide you want to put a photo on top of your white mat. Let's have that coming about there. And this one we'll have coming about there. Let's put some of these bits on and decide then we can see what else we need to stamp on. So this one I'm going to have tucked underneath there like that. I'm going to have this one laid down here on this bottom piece. Then we'll have the big turtle coming over the top. And then the little fishies, I'll pop those up on some dimensionals. And we'll have those here. I'm going to take this large circle just here, and I think we'll tuck him under there. My glue is very nearly out. Let's have it coming up that way. And then this one will have sort of coming across this corner just here. In fact, I'm just going to, it is attached underneath that dimensional, so let's just put some glue on the back there like that. We're going to have a little cluster of 3 up there. This is really about playing with all these different patterns on these papers. We'll have that one coming in here. We'll have this one coming out here. And then this one I'm going to put up on some dimensionals. They're little seahorses. Somewhere I should have, just here, another rectangle of paper. And we've got a nice big turtley one just there, so let's put some dimensionals on the back of that one. Lift him up, and then we're going to have that one in the centre there. And I'm going to put a dimension on that top bit, and then just a little spot of glue on those so that it catches on these white mats. Bring that just across a smidge. Now, could just do with that coming in a little bit further down there. Actually, I think we're going to take the Blackberry Bliss and just squeeze it in there like that to fill in that gap. Got some little fishes here. So let's just have a few of those. Swimming about the place, excuse my head. I'm going to grab the punch. And I think we'll have at least one little whale. If not a couple. Now what I'm quite tempted to do is to add in another piece of white card up there that could be used for a bit of journaling, I think. So let's just find a piece of Whisper White. We'll cut that out, but at the same time we'll get the next size up in the in the rectangles, and let's cut out a piece of mint macaron at the same time. Bringing that back. There's our bit of card for some journaling. Here's our mint macaron piece, and I think to be in keeping with the other pieces, I'm going to run this through the embossing folder, and we'll have that embossed with our seaweedy pattern as well. So we'll have that come up this top bit here. So that will give us something to give our page a title, or to do a bit of journaling on. The day we binge watched Finding Nemo. I'm going to put a couple of whales in. We'll have one at the top here, corner of our journaling square, and we'll have another one down here. Come on, little glue, you can do it. You can make it to the end of this scrapbook page. It says, I'm struggling, I'm struggling. Let's have this one coming down here. And then we could just add in, because we've got them and we can and we love them, a few of our little sequins. Get out some of these little corally seashell ones. So pretty. We'll add some of those in, and then perhaps just a few of the little shiny ones. Right, let's just put the lid on those so I don't knock them flying. And I think I am going to, at this stage, open up a new Tombow, because I think expecting that poor little Tombow to give me little blobs of glue for my sequins is perhaps just a little bit cruel. So let's start with this one down here. Oh, going to have serious blobs of glue. Stay. Oh, why are you sticking up so much? It's got a funny little sort of divotty bit on the back. That's better. As if the when it punched the hole out, it didn't quite go. Oh, again, a bit too much. It's too much of a squeeze to go from having to really squeeze it to hardly having to squeeze it. It's a bit of a brain train. And we've got these little ones down here that we're just going to little shells. Ooh. Stay. Got so much glue on my fingers now that they're all sticking to my fingers. Let's bring in my pokey tool and just rearrange those slightly. So there we go. We have our space at the top for our journaling. We've got little fishes going on, a few little sequins, our little coral shells down the bottom there, different patterned papers. I'm going to take you out of the holder and let's just see if we can't get you. Ooh, going back. There we are. A whole page. So that's a 12 by 12 scrapbook page featuring the stamps and the papers, lots of stitched shapes, circles and rectangles to go into your scrapbook albums with all your fishy themed photos. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and we'll be back for another video very soon.